Hello and welcome to the frozen wastes of Norsca. So let's take a look at their unique campaign mechanics. Northern Marauders first for battle, raiding and pillaging the lands across the Sea of Claws. The gods offer great rewards and bonuses by erecting great monoliths. We generate only a small income per settlement, so raiding and sacking will be our primary source of income. Monstrous Arcanum allows us to embark on wild hunts, confederate the Norscan tribes by defeating their leaders, and Marauder outposts can be established at conquered coastal settlements. Securing major capital cities allows fully developed Norscan settlements. I've seen a couple of videos on Norsca, but not much, so I will be learning as I go. This is my first campaign commentary, so I hope I don't screw it up too badly. So we are playing as Wulfric the Wanderer, and we begin at Icedrake Fjord. I think that, yeah, Fjord, there we go. Always off to a good start. Let's take a look at his skills. He's a born warrior. Reinforcement ranged plus 20%. All units cause fear. Well, that's pretty handy. He has one spell, Sea Fang, which I have seen a video of, and it seems to spawn a ship on the battlefield. An actual ship. But it's a wind spell. I'm never very good at directing those. I'm aiming for about each part of this campaign, maybe 30 to 40 minutes. Let's take a look at technology. Monster Hunter unlocks level 1 monster hunts. War tools, recruitment cost, weapon strength, armour. Looks pretty helpful, especially in the early game when I imagine I'll be using a lot of Marauder units. Campaign movement range, that could come in handy in Norsca. Let's begin with leadership bonuses. Okay, let's look at the diplomatic situation. So, I am at war with the Scalien. Non-aggression pact with the Van Heimlins. At war with Bretonia. And well, that's it. It's not too bad. Okay, the Scalien control Doomkeep and Longship. Now there's no army at Longship, so seems like an obvious first target. Presumably their main force is up here. But we also have the Varg, and the Varg control all of the mountains up here and the Trollheim mountains. Now, because I've seen a couple of videos, I know the Varg leader starts around the Bay of Blades. The question is, do we do what the game probably expects us to do, which is to take on the Scalien first, or do we just try to rush Bay of Blades and catch the leader of the Varg unaware, take him out early and grab all of his territory? So I think that's what we're going to try and do. So let's recruit some units. Let's grab a couple of extra spearmen. This will be the first time I'm actually playing as Norsca, so it should be interesting to see how these units do, how effective they are. Okay, we won't build anything in Icedrake this turn, because chances are, if we're going to push this way, we're going to have to leave it undefended. I really want to build up a full stack, hit Longship on the way, and then push onto the Bay of Blades. So this is our allegiance meter, where we can gain allegiance with the Hound, the Eagle, the Serpent and the Crow. And he also have the Gift of Tongues, 15 for mammoth units, minus 10% upkeep. That's pretty good. Now I hope I've got the audio settings right. As I said, this is my first commentary. So it's sort of a test run in a way for Warhammer 2 when that comes out. War declared. Varg. Okay. I haven't decided what my first campaign in Warhammer 2 will be yet. I'm leaning towards Skaven, but honestly all of them actually are quite appealing, even the High Elves, which are getting a lot of shit for probably not seeming as interesting as the Lizardmen or the Skaven, but I do like my ranged armies. I enjoyed playing as the Wood Elves. Let's grab some more units. Let's grab some javelins. So let's just build up a nice, almost a full stack, and then push on to the Bay of Blades. Let's grab a couple more of those. Another spearman. And we'll get leadership bonuses next turn. There we go. Okay, shall we... let's put a couple more in there. One more spearman. A couple more marauder units, I think. Because these guys will probably be more of a meat shield unit. Just use them to soak up fire. Okay, treasury is dropping because we're recruiting a lot, but it's not too bad. So let's get more movement range. And we have some beastmen just across the water to the south, causing problems for the Empire. Okay, let's push up to Longship. Now, I mean, I could swing up to Doomkeep, but I really want to hit the Bay of Blades early. So we're going to demolish this to get some extra cash, because we're dropping down. Well, we've got a good treasury, but if I keep... I mean, I could build another army here to try and defend it, but I'm just going to take a bit of a risk and push on. And we'll see what the scaling do. Okay, let's go in. Marauders, great weapons, a couple of spearmen, and marauder hunters. Now, well, I could just auto-resolve this, but I think I'm going to fight this because this is the first time I'm playing as Norsca, and I want to take a good look at these early units, see how they perform. So let's jump in. I imagine we'll be fighting in the snow a lot early on, which I never like. It's not quite as bad as fighting in forests. Okay, let's take a look at the field. Well, it looks like we're starting up high, so let's put our ranged units at the front. Just pull them back a little. And this is one thing I don't like about fighting in the snow, is you can't see the selection too well. As I drag it out, you see it's not as clear on the white background. So let's put a couple of units on spears on the flanks. They didn't have any cavalry or anything, but let's form up. I really want to see how these skin wolves perform. Let's put those over on the flank. Let's put these guys near the centre along with old Wolfric. And let's put our chariots on the other flank. So let's take a look at some of these units. starting with Wolfric, and we'll hide the UI with K. And we can just zoom in with N. There we go. He likes his skulls, as you can see. He's a collector. Swing around. Check out that shield. It's a fearsome shield. He's almost posing for us. Okay, let's take a look at these chariots. I've never been a big fan of chariots in Total War games. I mean, I've been playing Total War games since Shogun 1, and I know not every Total War game has featured chariots, but all the ones that have, I've never really used them much. I've always just preferred, normal cavalry. But these guys are pretty cool looking. Has he got hands on his belt? Just in case he needs an extra hand. Yes, I said that. Okay, we got our spearmen guys over here, because these are our javelin guys. Let's take a look at our slightly more advanced infantry, these guys. A couple of large axes. And they're really pumped up. And finally our skin wolves. These look more like a vampire count unit than a Norsca, but I'm not so familiar with my Warhammer lore. That's something I should make clear. I'm not really a Warhammer guy, I'm more of a Total War guy. But I've always wanted to see a fantasy Total War. I mean, ever since the early days of Shogun 1, Medieval 1. So yeah, Warhammer sort of scratches that itch. They're pretty nice. Okay, so let's start the battle and see where the enemy are and how they're formed up. So that's their garrison commander there. Marauder hunters, marauders, spearmen. They don't have any range, so we're just going to push up. About there, that'll do. Leave them on run, so some of them will get ahead of the formation, including our skinwolves who are racing off. Let's get some nice sweeping shots. This is my my first campaign video for Warhammer. I've done a lot of battle videos. I was going to say bad videos. Battle videos, some of which were probably bad, but never campaign videos. I guess because I've never found the Warhammer campaigns that interesting. I find the battles more compelling than the campaigns in Warhammer. But I'm really liking the look of what they're doing with the campaigns in Warhammer 2. It just looks like there's a lot more going on. There's more mechanics. The whole treasure hunting stuff just looks like a fun little addition. It reminds me a little of the Endless games, if you've ever played those. If you've played like Endless Legend or Endless Space, you can sort of search for treasure in those in a way. So let's see how these skinwolves just charge in, and let's I want to see how effective these guys are. Oh, they are getting stuck in. Oh, I forgot I had the blood pack turned on. Well, that's one way to find out. Oh, they're doing a pretty good job, I have to say. And some of these guys are quite literally exploding. So it looks like they're moving in some units to reinforce. So these guys actually have regeneration. Okay, let's stick our guys on skirmish so they can release and then retreat. So we're going to plough our chariots into those guys. So they're charging in. Oh, look, they're throwing spears as they go. So I want to see how effective this charge will be. We're going downhill, so should be pretty good. I need to watch what's going on up there though. Ooh, that is nasty. He really punched a hole through that line. Let's get Wolfric and our Berserkers straight into the fight here. And they're getting rather shredded. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Okay, let's keep our chariot on those. Our skinwolves are... hell, they've only lost 4. And they're really doing a number. We should probably send some support in, so we're gonna let's target those guys. And let's bring these down to support. Let's put everyone on guard mode so they don't go running off. It has been a while since I've played Warhammer. I wanted to sort of do a campaign before Warhammer 2 came out just to re-familiarise myself with the UI controls. Just, you know, so I don't jump into Warhammer and do too badly at the start. Okay, well, I mean, I could have resolved this, but it's good to just get back into the swing of things. So let's try his spell out to see what it looks like. Oh, here it comes. I know there's even little men on the ship. Okay, we better pull our skinwolves out, because swing those in. Let's keep up the fire on these guys. Pull them back. We haven't actually needed most of our forces for this. So their commander is almost entirely surrounded. Let's form these guys up here. So there's no problem with the snow, you can't always see exactly where you're sending them. Oh, they've got some units coming back in. Let's put our skinwolves around here. Now where is Wolfric? Because I really want to get him stuck in. Let's push them up a little. Let's zoom in and check that charge out. Now, if that doesn't cause fear, I don't know what wouldn't. What wouldn't? What will? I know what I'm saying. Well, they're doing their best, but they are surrounded. Now, this should be a good place to hit them with the flying magic boat, also known as Sea Fang. There we go. Punch a hole straight through them. Look at that poor fellow. He's trying to get back up. Oh, that's it. It's over, lads. Good job, everyone. Wolfric is pleased. He killed 31. 65 to... well, we'll have another look at these on the 88 for the skinwolves. That's pretty good. Okay, let's end that here. Nice decisive victory to begin our campaign. Of course, we didn't commit any of these to the fire. We only committed our spearmen. They didn't. Well, they only got 2. But I guess they didn't do too much in the battle. 47. Yeah, the Skinwolf and the Chariots did the most damage. These guys didn't get any kills. It wasn't exactly a fair fight though, was it? Let's be honest. So the question is, do we occupy or do we raise and erect a monolith? So I'm leaning towards occupy because it seems more prudent to occupy Norsca land where I can actually construct my buildings, and then erect the monoliths in other settlements around the map. That would seem to be the sensible thing to do. So that's probably what we'll try that out. We'll see how it goes as we wait for this to finish loading. There we go, decisive victory. A little loot gained. A rank gained. Did we get any loot? Any sort of items or no? Okay. So yeah, we can raise this for the different gods. The Hound gives weapon strength and unit experience per turn plus 100. That's very powerful, but we got to get to level 2. Interesting. Well, as I said, we're going to occupy Norscan territories. So we won't upgrade anything there yet because we want to push on to the Bay of Blades. So let's upgrade and get movement range. I always begin with movement range. And we've got to keep an eye on scaling because we've just taken their settlements. They will probably send a force down, and I imagine they will come this way. Oh, and there they are. Right on time. Question is, do we march to meet Felman Ingerson, or do we try and catch the Varg leader? I'm really tempted. Well, could be a risk. We could end up not catching the Varg leader and end up losing our initial settlement. But I'm going to take the risk because why not? What's the worst that could happen? Okay, it doesn't look like the Varg leader is there. So that is the worst that could happen. So the question is, do we swing back and then push up? Okay, we're going to swing back. And we're going to go and see what Ingar does. Chances are he's going to come down this pass. Now we could try and ambush them in the pass. Okay, he's going straight for Ice Strike. Okay, what's my movement range like with that? Not too good. Okay, this could be a risk. But let's push up. Okay, Wintertooth and Drak are at war. Osterland and Tablik land. I probably said that wrong. I'm probably going to say a lot wrong. Okay, will they back off or will they go for Ice Strike? Because I am I in range of Ice Strike? Not quite. So if they attack it, I probably won't be able to reinforce. But if they do take it, well, they're not. They're probably going to take damage doing so, and then I can sweep in. So we'll see what they do. Let's end the turn. And let's see what they do. They are coming down. Ah, they've stopped just outside and they are raiding. It looks like they want me to go to them. Okay. Well, that suits me just fine. Okay, but I'm going to end part 1 here. As I said, this is sort of a test run, so I'm going to keep these about 30 to 40 minutes. And this battle is going to easily push me over the edge because it's probably going to be quite a large battle. So we will do that in part 2. So I hope you will join me then. I hope you found this somewhat entertaining and probably not informative, but I will endeavour to do better. Okay, I will see you in part 2.